Florida. So thank you very much. Thanks to the ESCOs for this opportunity to talk to everyone about engaging our children. And especially at this time of COVID and even holidays, they're kind of, you can hear that I'm bored. I'm very bored. I'm really bored. You can hear it over and over
Yes,
again, and you're thinking, what
every
else do I have to do? So this is not, the talk is not, it's just tips and suggestions. Some of them I have done, some of them we haven't as a family. And so I have more road to cover as well, just like you all. But I'll be sharing my ideas. And this talk is not replacing your usuals, your daily chores or swimming, karate, library clubs, church activities, and football. No, it's just an addition or an enhancement. And we need to consider also the budget you have for these activities. You need to consider the age of the children. You need to consider the safety. Is it safe for them? Because not when we say play with scissors, use scissors to cut something, it might not be applicable to all children. And the space you have, you might have a garden, you might not have one, you might have a small one or a big one. And also the government guidelines of wherever you reside. So all of these I'm going to be talking about, the tips depend on all of these considerations. Now the aims of the talk is to help children build their soft skills, to help them overcome boredom, to build, team building for them. It helps them to learn from a very young age, and following instructions, helps them to follow instructions, helps them to even discover their talents and their gifts. So I hope that these ideas will help us to be able to do that. Now, I have just 10 minutes. Sorry if I'm too fast. I'm just very conscious of my time, and I hope it will do us justice. So the first thing I do is get the kids together and let them brainstorm ideas. So we as parents, we're there to just guide them. We're there to enlighten them. We're there to further make them think further about ideas which they have and how they can enhance it. So that is that is the reason why I said creating an idea box, getting them together and say, oh, what do you like doing? Let's, you start brainstorming about ideas and put them in a box, because then you could do a kind of a lucky day. Any day they are bored, okay, let's take one activity from the box and see what we can do today. So creating an idea box, but involving your children, because if you bring it all up on your own, you end up doing it yourself. So you want them to get involved. You want them to do what they want to do. You could also feed the ducks, feed the birds, feed the swans, go to, the little river around you if you have one, or, feed the birds. Those are activities they can do. They can also set up an indoor tent where they could have their quiet activities, maybe reading, camping experience, with pillows and blankets, large sheets, pegs, and all of that you need to provide, even with popcorns and all of that. Because I know we used to do that when we were younger, create something like a tent or a cubby house. And also baking. Some children love baking. They love being in the kitchen. It's time for you to also help them to think, to explore what else can we do. And at this time, we know YouTube is your friend. Another one is reading challenge with a reward. So you could give them a book and say, okay, let's read this book, and you'll be able to explain at the end of maybe you finish reading to everyone what you've read, and you give them a reward with it if you want to, if it's something you do in your family. So yeah, you could, that could encourage them to even read more books. Learn new skills like online enrollment to maybe creative clubs, fellowship, and there's so many of them around now, especially with the lockdown. Thank God it's easing off now, but there were a lot where you had so many things on WhatsApp saying, oh, coding club, this club, fellowship, young stars, and all of that. There's so many. So enroll them into them and let them learn new skills. Make home videos together, fun memories with family and friends. That could be time you want to do some videos, especially if your children love videos and all of these things. Just let them make videos together and store it. And before you know it, depending on your permission and on whatever your family rules and regulations are, They could, be YouTubers or whatever. Then making movies, like, using Plotagon stop motion. Some people love playing with Barbie dolls. Some, well, that's girly now, but boy stuff, they might like playing cartoons. They might like doing all these, when we were growing up, all these, is it cartoon? All these things that you draw, and then there's a speech bubble. And for comic books, yeah, comic books, that's it. So comic books. Then make albums with your digital photos. There's so many of us with thousands and millions of photos on our phones. We just need to print them out somehow and let them make video albums from them. You can create scrapbooks, you can create summer diaries. You could create time for musical instruments. So I just need to check this chat to see if it's related to what, okay, I'm talking, all right. Okay, so jamming time, musical instruments, tambourine shakers, depending on the age, like I said, outdoor games, yes, you can do all of that. Buy from £1 shop, I'm sure they have a net, I don't know if it's £1 shop, but a net, and badminton, you could play in the garden, especially at this summertime. Create a game box for younger children. And what I mean by that is a box where you could have puzzles, usually even in the nurseries, they have these boxes where you can just go in and pick up anything you want. So create that in a corner of your house, and Legos, playing cards, and all of that. Make it assorted so that it can be attracted to it. You could create a science box as well, where you put in metals, magnets, cameras, and all of these things. Just old phones, just for them to explore and see what they can do with them. Then, yeah, like I said, making cartoons and getting ready to, and you should be getting ready to listen to them. Some of them could do paper and crayon or any stories. So I know this might not be applicable to some ages, but some would love treasure hunts, like maps, hide and seek, within the house, outside the house, giving clues, hosting a play day with trusted family and friends, buying equipment like gymnastic mats, like I said, budget, whatever budget you have. Some even do bath pools in their gardens. Listening to audiobooks with them is a really good one, where you could put on YouTube, and then it's a book, but it's something you listen to, and you could get vocabularies from there. You could get so many ideas from there. Nature walk, going around with, asking children to pick feathers, sticks, pebbles, but you have to be careful with that one anyway, because you don't want them picking coronavirus. All right, creating a cinema experience in your house, watching family film together, popcorn and snack time, with lights out, and just enjoy a cinema experience at home. Then there's this favorite one I like, lock and keys. I haven't tried that, but I have always had that in my mind about having locks, like you can see in the diagram below. You could lock padlocks and keys, and see just something like break. I don't know if you've been to Prison Break, where you have to unlock things, unlock keys, and all of that. You could do a challenge around that. The verbal games, or animal place and things. We used to play that when we were younger, where you would okay, letter Z. Let's look for an animal place or a thing. I know I have 1 minute left. I will try to round up. Also, online creativity videos. There are 5-minute crafts on YouTube with tissue rolls, origamis, balloons, you could do with that. Also, you could also do public transport adventures, but be cautious of COVID-19, like I said. The clutter game, where unused toys and clothes for charity could be, just clearing up the house and sending them to charity. Play-Doh, slime, they love doing that. Jewelry making, beads, wire clasps, and all of that. Going for a picnic, even in the garden and an open space. You could even buy a doll head with hair, where they could start learning how to make hair. So all of these are things we can do. So I hope that these things I've shared with you, I'm sure you have more ideas than I do. It will be nice to hear from you. And any questions, please, before I go to the next person?